Well, folks, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever part of the world you might be watching from, we want to say welcome. And this is Focus on Liberia television right here. Another media network. We are in conversation with Siryon. He has come to react to President Joseph Boakai first State of the Nation address delivered on the 29th of January. That was on Monday.
27.
All right, at the joint legislature. So Blaman is here to react to that particular statement as well. Blaman, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you listen to President Joseph Boakai first State of the Nation address. I know you come from another community, the disabled community. What's your reaction to the president's first State of the Nation address?
My first reaction on the president's State of Nation address is we strongly believe as disabled people we need decent living, job employment. And during his inaugural speech, he told us, he gave a brief history about himself concerning his mother who was disabled. She has this, and she was a person living with disabilities. And in his Nation First address, we did not hear anything concerning about disabled people. So that is why I come to the radio station to let the public know that this should be one of his primary concerns. And he also talked about training 10,000 youth. So my recommendation to him is that the 10,000 youth he's talking about, at least 10 disabled persons should be part and parcel of that 10,000 youth training.
What was that specific thing you wanted the president to talk about? Maybe in the disabled communities, some of the challenges that the disabled communities face with in Liberia. What was that thing you wanted the president to talk about?
Okay, meaning the challenges is that disabled people are people need decent living, and they are people who wants to work, who wants to find somebody or somewhere to be trained, so that they will be able to get their own ends meet. As you can see, my brother, in Liberia, disabled people are languishing in the street because they don't have nothing to do. So I'm appealing to Ambassador Joseph Boakai, our president, to at least listen to us and make sure that this should be one of his primary concerns about disabled people in Liberia.
Do you think that was intentional for the president to have left out the disabled community in his speech?
Yes, I can say it was intentional because we part of the nation, we part of Liberia. So, and anything that they're trying to do, we as disabled people should be mentioned in every agenda of this nation. But I strongly believe that disabled people are out. Disabled people are out on his agenda. We are not getting anything concerning his agenda towards the disabled community. So I'm appealing again to him to kindly listen to us and then to make sure that disabled people should be people with ability to work, and also people with potential
What
to
what
work.
are, in terms of programs? What are the programs you want to recommend to President Boakai to be initiated for people who live with disability in our country?
Yeah, the program, because they have the National Commission on Disabilities, and this National Commission on Disability are specially there to meet the needs of people living with disabilities. Okay, the structure was funded by Madam Benduan Pebe. So I'm telling him and I'm appealing to him that this structure should not be destroyed, because some of us were part and parcel of this structure. As I speak, I was one of those that was elected or selected, to be the general secretary for District 17 on the disabled wing. But there is nothing that we have benefited from that structure. So I want to remind him and tell him that this should not be cancelled. This should remain, and also this should be a beneficiary program for us as disabled people.
You earlier said, government, especially President Boakai, maybe past government, have been forgetting people living with disability. What do you think government or even the current president will speak maybe in a public or in an environment without mentioning people living with disability?
Well, for me, I don't know, because if you know that as you said earlier in your first inaugural speech at the program, you said your mother was somebody living with disabilities. So I strongly believe you should have strong feelings for a person living with disability, to have them employed, to have them be part of to feel part of the nation. But if you don't say so, if you don't come up with a word, strong word, to at least make disabled people happy, I think we ask ourselves to be out of the nation.
So let's talk about pressing issue. You as an individual, let's talk about you personally here. And you have already expressed your disenchantment with the president for not mentioning people living with disabilities in his first State of the Nation address. But let's talk about you as an individual here. How are you managing? How is life with you? What is going on?
Well, as I said here, I'm a person living with disability, and I'm living alone. But it's not that easy for me to even live alone, right? I went to the school for the blind, and I graduated from the school for the blind in 2008. I managed to have enrolled at one school called the Freetown Virginia High School to Broadville, and I graduated, and then I managed to enroll at the AMEU University, but I did not sit, for me to at least participate in any class, So it has made me to be frustrated. It has made me to think that I have nowhere to go and I have no one to help me. So right now, before I survive, I have to go in the street to ask for ends meet before I survive. So this, I want to tell Ambassador Joseph Boakai to see how best disabled people will be part of his government.
Oh. You said on a daily basis you have to get in the street to beg people just to find something to eat. How have been the reactions from these people you go to as well?
Well, sometimes I go out, like Liberia. Liberia is a country where we are sympathetic and somehow, sometimes I go out, it can't really be there, and I just have to pay my way to come back. But however, I will still have the hope for the next day, to go back so that I can be able to get something for my daily bread.
What's your pressing issue now? What's really the pressing needs that maybe somebody viewing you will want to maybe assist with?
Well, my personal issue concerning me that I want to address is that I don't have a place to reside. I don't have a place to reside. Right now, I'm in trouble over rent. So it worries me a lot. And the background I come from is a very poor background. Parents do not really care. Parents do not really concern. So I'm really worried about it. So if somebody listening to me, if they want to help me, I need a place.
You talk about rent. Explain that in detail. Maybe how much you pay, or what's the problem you have with the rent, all the kinds of things. Detail that to us.
Well, the problem I have with the rent is that I'm not financially, potent to really pay for rent. Because the first time I had small money, like 1,600, $120 I pay for the rent. 6 months. And right now, I need to pay for an additional 6 months, and I don't really have that money. But apart from that, I don't want to continuously renting. So I'm appealing to those that are listening to me to help me or to assist me with a place.
With a place to be.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, before the place, if somebody want to, help you further your rent, what's that amount you pay? And how's a negotiation between you and maybe the landlord, landlady, or wheresoever you're renting?
The minimum amount will be $20 per month.
$20 that.
Yes.
Okay. Per month. And are you okay this year? Are you clear with the landlord? Is everything okay?
As I said earlier, I'm in worried even to pay my rent because I don't even have a dime. A penny I don't have to even pay. So it worries me a lot. Like right now where I'm sitting, I always begging the landlord to at least accommodate me for another more month. And the last time he called me, he said to me that, Plumber, somebody have already taken the room and are already having the person money. The person is supposed to come and pin the place where you are. I said, wow. So it worried me a lot, and thinking where to go, I really don't have nowhere else to go.
Well, folks, there you have it. We're in conversation with visually impaired black man, Siryon. We started first with his reactions to President Joseph Boakai's first State of the Nation address. You heard him, he said that the president did not mention people living with disabilities in his first State of the Nation address. That's something that prompted his call as well to come for this interview. And also his personal life is, in this critical condition as well where he lives. He has come as well to appeal to those of you following. Maybe you have support to lend him. He said monthly is $20 US. He paid per month, and it's a serious problem as well in getting that. Apart from they rent as well. Blama, how do you manage, maybe on a daily basis, getting food to eat, or all these things?
I said earlier, I usually go out to people who are very much sympathetic, so that I can get my daily needs of sustenance. But sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, And being as a visually impaired person, moving among cars, some motorbike or keke drivers don't take time. And the last time I almost, my phone almost break because the keke boss mashed my foot with the keke.
Huh.
And he ran away. He did not even stop. So it got me scared, and it's also scaring for me as a visually impaired person, moving among no cars and keke, and some of them don't take time. Some of them don't even know that somebody is visually impaired. Even when we're having a white cane in our hand, they don't want to know as to whether we want to cross road or what have you.
Wow, that's so bad. The last time we spoke, you also talked about business. You also, say you want to start something like a business. I don't know what I want to expand on that.
Yes, I want to start business because if I start business, I will be able to sit one place to do that business. And it will help me a lot. It will help me to save, something so that at the end of the month, I'll be able to pay my rent.
What kind of business you would love to venture into?
I want to start a gasoline business or a cold water business. That is, I will buy the box, the X box.
Okay, the X box.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then to freeze the water, then at least I'll be able to sell it by sack in the community.
Okay. Wow. So that's it, folks. You heard him, Blama. Another thing, as part of sustaining himself, he want to start a business, be a gasoline or cold water business in the country, to also help with some of his needs as well. So finally, Blama, I'm trusting that somebody will actually help. But finally, what your final words as we take leave of you?
Well, my final word is, again, Ambassador Joseph Boakai, our president, should take a look at what I'm speaking of, because disabled people are people to explore their potential. But we can't do it without people that are having a visual, sight to help us in the process. So that is why I came to the radio station to let the public know, to let the world know that they should make sure disabled people should not be left out. Disabled people should be able to work. Disabled people should be able to have decent living. Disabled people should be having job employment. Disabled people should be well established. Because without you guys, we disabled people will not survive. So we want to tell the president to at least see into that light and then to help us in the process.
Thank you, Blama.
Yes, sir.
Well, folks, that's it. We've been in conversation with Blama Siryon. He's a visually impaired. He's been reacting to President Joseph Boakai's first State of the Nation address. He said in the president's first State of the Nation address, the president did not mention people living with disabilities in our country, something that hurt him as well, and all of those in the communities as well. So that's why he came to express his personal issue as well. When somebody struggling, usually he have to go in the streets between cars, begging people, to just have, something to eat. Where he stays, he has an issue with rent. He said his monthly rent costs, 20 United States dollars. But in doing so, he want to start a little business. He want to start doing, be a gasoline or maybe cold water business, where, in the community he can sell his cold water and be saving some of the money to help pay his rent, to fund food, and other things as well. Thanks so kindly for following, and those of you who God will touch your heart, you can be a blessing to him as well. Thank you. My name is Jeremiah Moba. Begging you farewell as well. You want to announce your contact? If somebody want to call you?
Yes, sir. I am announcing my number right now. My number is 0777 07 3951, or better still, Lone Star 0886 839063.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.